Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This August 25th, 2020 for the Yuma County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Can I verify quorum, please?
Yes. Scott Moore.
Here.
Ron Rice.
Here.
John McKinley.
Here.
Tim Bowers.
Here.
Danny Bryant.
Here.
Matias Rosales.
Present.
Alicia Zermano. Gary Black.
Here.
Wayne Eide.
Present.
Paul White. Chairman, you do have a quorum.
All right, for the record, let's just note that Paul White is here, but he's muted most likely.
Yes, I saw him. I marked him down.
All right, thank you. Sure about Alicia. Was Alicia on there somewhere? No. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Can I get, before I get started, let me just give some housekeeping rules. If you park in the rear employee gated parking lot, for those that are there present, please move your vehicle to the front parking lot to avoid having your vehicle locked in. This will be the north parking lot you want to be parked in. Please sign in on the sheet at the table by the rear door as you enter the auditorium. Please state your full name, address for the record before speaking at the podium or through the Zoom meeting. There's a 3-minute timer for those who wish to speak. I will be able to, it's up to my choice if I continue or not with the speaker after 3 minutes, and the timer, Amber will control the timer. Those who are present via Zoom, please remember to mute your microphone throughout the meeting to avoid any back noise, any dogs barking, or any tickling the toes or anything. Okay, if we could go ahead and get started for the Pledge of Allegiance, could we get the flag displayed on the Zoom meeting somewhere? I think Rubio had it, or who had it? Javier or Mr. Barraza?
Javier, yes.
Javier. All right, thank you. We all can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. It's kind of weird doing it on Zoom because you get different tones, but we have a short pride. All right, item number 3, approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meetings for July 28th, 2020. Did everybody get those?
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. Rice, I believe you did the motion.
Yes.
Mr. Black, second. Any further discussion on those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Okay, motion passes. Item number 4, minor amendment case number 20-03. Staff?
Mr. Chairman, can you please?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Can you open rezoning case also 20-14?
Okay, I'll go ahead and open both item number 4, minor amendment case number 20-03 and rezoning case number 20-14.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
This is Commissioner Mulhern. I need to recuse myself from minor amendment case number 20-03 and rezoning case number 20-14.
Okay, so noted for the record. Thank you. Continue.
Can you see the presentation and hear me?
Sir. I hear you. Where's the presentation? On top? No?
Yep. See it?
Yes and yes.
Perfect.
Hi, Ken.
Mr. Chairman, can you see it?
All I have is the Planning and Zoning Commission screen.
Okay, let me see. Do you see this slide?
Got it.
Okay, perfect.
There we go. We got it now.
Great. Mr. Chairman, Javier Barraza, Senior Planner, presenting minor amendment 20-03. This is a request to change the land use designation of 0.46 net acres of a parcel 1.46 gross acres in size from rural density residential to suburban density residential. The project is located in the Martinez Lake planning area at 12266 North Eagle Road in Yuma, Arizona. The intent is to allow the rezoning of the mentioned 0.468 acres from low density residential 40,000 square feet minimum to low density residential 15,000 square feet minimum. This is the land use and vicinity map showing the subject parcel highlighted in red. The portion to be amended is the portion that is cross-hatched. The property is accessed via Mallard Road and Eagle Road. The entirety area, it's rural density residential, the land use, and the other part is the Martinez Lake body of water. This is Exhibit A. This is the site plan provided by the applicant. Outlined in red is the parcel, and highlighted is the proposed area to be amended, showing the footprints of the existing buildings. This is an aerial view showing the different roads conducting to the subject parcel. This is a view looking south of the subject parcel from Mallard Road on the north. Another view now looking southwest of the subject parcel from the northeast corner of the parcel in Mallard Road. Staff received 2 letters from within the notification area in opposition and 10 letters received in opposition from property owners from the North Shore and Martinez Lake area. Those letters were emailed to you this morning. Staff recommends denial of minor amendment 20-03 based on the following. Number 1, the change will allow for inconsistency with existing zoning and land use development patterns. Number 2, the amendment does not address an oversight, inconsistency, or other land use related inequity. Number 3, the amendment is not an overall improvement to the plan and is solely for the good or benefit of this particular owner. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the minor amendment 20-03. I will continue with the rezoning presentation. This is the request to rezone the 0.46 net acre portion of the parcel 1.46 net acres in size from low density residential 40,000 square feet to low density residential 15,000 square feet minimum. The intent is to rezone a portion of the parcel to low density residential 15 in order minimum square footage in order to split it into 2 lots. Again, this is the zoning and vicinity map showing the subject parcel highlighted in red and the portion to be rezoned cross-hatched. Parcel number 1 on the north and west of the property is zoned rural area 20 acre minimum improved with the residents. Parcel number 1 and 10 are property zone R140 improved with residences. Parcel number 9 is on R140, it's a vacant property. Parcel number 6 and 8 are properties improved residences on R140. Again, this is Exhibit A, the site plan showing the subject parcel outlined in red and the portion to be rezoned highlighted. Property is accessed on the north via Mallard Road and Eagle Road. Most of the part where the location of the structures is flat, but on the way down to the water, it slopes from Mallard Road towards the water, towards Martinez Lake. This is an aerial view showing outline the subject parcel and outline in red the portion to be rezoned, and it shows the surrounding condition. This is a looking southeast along Mallard Road taken from Snipe Road. Looking south at the subject parcel from Mallard Road. Looking southwest at subject parcel. This is looking southwest of the existing structures on the property. This is looking south at the water access on the east. Staff received 2 letters from within the notification area in opposition to this request, and 10 letters received in opposition from property owners from the North Shore and Martinez Lake area. The staff recommends denial of rezoning case number 20-14 based on the following reasons. Although the proposed change is compatible with adjoining zoning, the proposed change is not logical and harmonious with the land use patterns of the area. Number 2, the proposed zoning will increase the density in an area with limited emergency services, road improvements, and water and sewer infrastructure. Number 3, changing the zoning of the subject property will create a small area of R115 zoning in the area, and that is completely surrounded by RA20 and R140. If the Planning Commission recommends approval, the staff recommends attaching the following performance conditions and schedule for development. Within 60 days of board approval, the owner agent shall do the following: provide an ARS 12-1134 waiver, record a UMA proving ground disclosure statement, record an infrastructure disclosure statement, record a restricted airspace disclosure statement, and record a schedule for development disclosure statement, and the following schedule for development prior to development or within 1 year of board approval, whichever occurs first. Item A land division permit shall be applied for and approved in accordance with section 507 of the Yuma County zoning ordinance. Mr. Chairman, this concludes this presentation. Applicant is in the auditorium and the agents are present via Zoom.
Thank you. This time, I'll go ahead and open it up for the commissioners for any questions to staff. I'll go ahead and, Mr. McKinley, any questions or concerns?
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bowers? None? Okay, Mr. White?
No question.
Thank you. Mr. Black?
No questions.
Thank you. Mr. Rice?
No questions.
Thank you. Mr. Bryant?
No, I'd like to hear from the applicant first.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead, and who else is on? Mr. Mulhern, any questions before we have the applicant speak?
I'm recused.
No? Okay, Mr. Heidi?
No, thank you.
Okay, so at this time, I'll go ahead and let the applicant come up. If you have any comments or questions? Is the applicant online or representative for the applicant?
The applicant is present in the auditorium, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Ms. Knowlton, please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Judy Knowlton. I live at Martinez Lake, 12266 North Eagle Road. And Adrian Viega, yeah, was supposed to be my agent. And they were supposed to be online with us. So, I don't.
Mr. Chairman, the agents are present via Zoom.
Via Zoom? Okay, my understanding they are present via Zoom. Mr. Vega, are you online? Or someone from Mr. Vegas?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I'm here. Adrian Vega, 1560 South 5th Avenue. We are the agent for Judy, Ball Robinson Associates.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of, anything else you can add? That
sure. So engaged by Ms. Knowlton to try to get a land use change and rezoning for this parcel. She was in a project assessment meeting where she got feedback. She thought she got positive feedback on this case, and that's why she came to us to help her through these processes. The intent for this project is she wants to keep her house. That's where she lives, so she wants to keep her house and be able to build another house on the proposed new parcel. So it'll be just increasing the density, just one more house at the site. That's the intent. And I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Vega. Does the commissioners have any questions for the applicant's representative? Mr. Bryant, did you have any questions for the applicant?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. The parcel currently is what size? It's like 1.46 acres?
Mr. Chairman, that is correct.
And if you only wanted to build one more house, why are we talking about going to 15,000 square feet?
Mr. Chairman, that will be a particular question to me. It got to do with septic and water, because you need at least a minimum 1 acre. Since probably the smaller parcel already have the septic already in place, so you just want to prevent from the future parcel, the 1 acre one, to have all of that.
So the request would be to create a non-conforming parcel. So, I mean, I guess I'm not quite understanding if that you have to have an acre, what's she gonna do with the 15,000 square foot piece if it's not an acre?
Mr. Chairman, according to the applicant, the septic is already on that side, the proposed smaller parcel. And according to the applicant, on the previous rezoning case 10 years ago, she was getting water from Martinez Lake.
Is it no longer permissible to get water from Martinez Lake? Again, if you took that 1.46 acres and you split it in two and you had 2.7 acre parcels, you could still get water from the lake, is that right?
Mr. Chairman, if you read in the staff report, there was a comment from the Bureau of Land Management back 10 years ago about that. I tried to get updated information on that, but I didn't get any feedback. There's no such right to get water from the Martinez Lake according to the Bureau of Land Management. But that was just the statement that the applicant provided back then, and that's the one we just carry over to this staff report. But I couldn't get any update information on that from the BLM.
Okay, and if I could speak to Mr. Vega. Mr. Vega, how do you answer staff's recommendation to deny the minor amendment because it's an incompatible with the surrounding land use?
Mr. Sherman, yeah, so I guess our only goal here is just to create one more residence. So we don't think there's going to be a big impact to the neighborhood. It'll be just one more house. I mean, there's if you drive through the side, there's several houses there already within a property, within a single parcel. So the intent is just to create one more residence. It's not going to be more than that.
That's all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, this is Ron Rice. I have a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Rice.
Is the existing septic system capable of handling another house? Apparently that the person wants to tie into the existing septic system, it sounds like.
Mr. Sherman, no, the existing system won't be used for the new residence. It'll be a new system for it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
then maybe I missed it, but what is the access to parcel B? In one of the statements, the assessor's office noted that there was maybe need to be a dedicated right-of-way.
Mr. Chairman, it'll be through an easement along parcel A, through a private easement. Is not shown on the current site plan, but it'll be shown at the time of the land division permit stage.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, John McKinley, question please for the applicant.
Go ahead, Mr. McKinley.
According to the report from the Arizona Water Resources Department, it is not legal to get water from the reservoir, Martinez Lake. They do not have a contract for that. Never did.
Mr. Chairman, I will have to refer that to the applicant or the owner, Ms. Knowlton.
I think I can answer that question for you. It's not, we're not taking 1 million gallons out or anything. We just have a little pump that just supplies us our water and things, and that's all, just the water, and we buy our drinking water.
But do you guys have permission, or is there permission for that, or are you just doing a little pumping?
Well, there's actually, I'm not the only person out there that does that. there's several other places that have, it's the way the house was when we bought it, you know, in 2008. And we never had an issue with it. And so we had no reason to do anything else. And nobody has ever come to us and said, well, you can't do that, or, you know, anything like that. So we just left it the way that it was.
Okay. All right.
But the new house will have a well. The new house that's going in will have a well. They'll have their own well.
Okay. Thank you. Any additional questions? Thank you, Ms. Knowles. This time, I will open it up to the public. If anyone wants to make a comment for or against this, you may step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
This is Kevin Dahl with Dahl Robbins and Associates, 1560 South Fifth Avenue. So when I stand back and look at this, the problem I have is that it's if you go to Javier, can you pull the aerial up on this? The one that has the houses shown on it? It's a perception in my mind. You're not gonna tell it's not meeting the code by looking at a map.
Sure.
We're driving by the street. This is another house in a neighborhood of maybe 6 homes. So I look at things a lot from a common sense standpoint. Maybe not everything meets the book and the code, and this is probably one case that doesn't. So there's
Just give me a minute. I'm setting it up.
That's fine. Go ahead. I'll just keep on talking. So if you read those emails, the sky's falling. Guys, the sky's not falling. It's one home in a neighborhood of 6. So. And you're not gonna, quite honestly, you can barely see that a home from the road the way it is. If you put a home in front of it, you're not gonna even see it at all. So visually, you're not gonna have a problem. So this comes down to, we have a client that went to a project assessment, was positive, so she moved forward, and then all of a sudden the rug gets pulled out, quite honestly, and that, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair at all.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Give me a second, Maggie. Let me let's look at the aerial first, and then I'll let you go ahead and give your comments. Is the aerial up already, Mr. Barraza?
That is correct. That's the area.
Okay. Did you want to point something out on that, Mr. Dahl?
Well, my point is this: you can see to the southeast there's 3 homes. There's 3 lots, and there's multiple buildings on those lots on the one closest to this property. There's a couple buildings further north. You got the McMillan property to the west, northwest, so in a conglomeration of 6 or 7 lots here, you're not gonna see a big difference in adding one home to this lot. So, and we look at the existing home as being grandfathered. It has its facilities. We're just putting an imaginary line around there, around the lot, to create a individual lot for Miss Knowlton, and then allow her to, proceed with building another home and selling it on the north. One of the comments said this is for financial gain. I'm not sure anything I do isn't for financial gain. I don't know what that would even means, because all of our cases for zoning are usually to better someone's financial outlook. So again, from a standpoint, the term 40,000 feet in the sky or 20,000 feet in the sky, one more home in this area is not going to make a big difference. Just isn't.
Thank you, Mr. Dahl. Ms. Castro?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, from a planning perspective, we take things from a wider perspective. So yes, the applicant, their position is this is only one home in the area, or one additional home in the area. From a planning perspective, we look at a wider range or a bigger area. As stated on page 3 of the staff report, there are 51 properties in the general area, which are zoned R140. And they range in size from approximately 13,360 square feet to a little over 4 acres. So if each one of those property owners comes in with the same argument that this property owner is making, or the agent, then the cumulative effect of rezoning all of those properties would result in approximately 129 new parcels in the area. So if you just take one parcel, yeah, it doesn't seem like it could create any issues. Again, we look at a bigger view of the entire area. Another point I'd like to clarify is when staff provides comments during a project assessment meeting, we are not reviewing the rezoning case or the minor amendment at that case. We are, the purpose of a project assessment meeting is to provide a cursory review of the case or to provide the applicant with what needs to be submitted for in the event that they wish to proceed with a rezoning or a minor amendment. The staff does not provide a recommendation or even a possible recommendation at that time. The recommendation comes after staff does the research and analysis of the case, which is approximately well into the application period of a request.
Thank you, Ms. Castro.
You're welcome.
Chairman, I got a couple of two comments actually. There's Gary Block.
Go ahead.
One is the density. Yes, of course, that's the major issue. You know, and I know there's some of the people out there, and it's a community that doesn't like to be pushed around or messed around with, you know, as far as those types of things goes. But density does matter if we set a precedent, and then we are setting ourselves up to have to rezone all the rest of these down. So that's my first point. My second point is we have a sewer issue. I mean, we can't grandfather something in. We can't split it up and grandfather a sewer system, and that doesn't make too much sense to me. So I think the grandfather means on the whole property. Not splitting it up and making it less than an acre. And that's the way I perceive it anyway. But anyway, those are my two comments.
Thank you, Mr. Black. All right. Any additional questions or comments? At this time,
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, would Mr. Barraza be able to identify, and maybe I missed this, but if there were objections from the immediately nearby lots?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I can. Just the ones within the 300. Those are the ones the closest. The ones within the 300 feet, it will be this parcel right here. Number one, this parcel right here. This is just barely outside. I don't know if you see my cursor.
Correct. And then can you also tell me what the lot sizes are for parcels 1, 6, 8?
Sure. Give me a second. I need to bring the...
Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. There are two of those property owners, or two of those properties are within 300 feet of the request. Parcel 5 to the southeast, I can't tell what the parcel number is. Portion of that property is also within the 300-foot radius.
I need to bring my mapping application. Just give me a couple minutes.
Sorry, that was parcel 8 to the southeast.
Yeah, that will be, yeah, 8 is included, parcel 6, that is correct, 3 parcels, that's right. But the only ones that send letters of opposition, there's parcel 1 and 8. I'm bringing the mapping to give you the area of those parcel number 6 and parcel 8. Bear with me a couple minutes. Okay.
Guys, let me know what
Okay. Mr. Chairman, parcel number 1 is 0.93 acres.
0.93?
Yes, and parcel number 6 is 0.57. And parcel number 8 is 0.98. Those are the sizes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, any additional questions from commissioners? All right, here none, I will now entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, this is Ron Rice. I would make a motion, we deny the application.
Do it. I would second that motion.
Can you specify, since we do have both items on open, are you talking about the amendment case or the rezoning or both?
Both rezoning number 20-14 and the minor amendment 20-03.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Mr. Chairman?
Who was that?
That was me, Gary Black.
No, I'm saying, Amber?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
We need a motion for each item separately. Motion and vote.
Okay. So Mr. Rice, can you go ahead and specify you're making a motion for item 20-03 first?
Yes, I'll make a motion for case number 20-3 to denial.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against?
Mr. Chairman, I vote against. I'm not sure I would if we could be there in person, but these folks put a lot of time in this process and they can't even look us eye to eye and we're telling them what they can't do. So I would rather see this continue to a time when we could have been in person. So we could have heard from those folks who objected and seen if there was some way to get this accomplished.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would like a comment also.
Mr. Chairman, first of all, I'd like a roll call vote. That way we make sure we have who voted for the motion and who voted against.
Okay, Ms. Castro, we'll do that in a minute. Mr. Black, did you have a comment real quick?
Yeah, no, I understand what Danny was saying. I mean, I do understand it, and I realize the issues, though, become beyond that with the number of negative comments that we have. I mean, all of them are similar. All of them are going back to zoning and splitting your lots up, and so it's very difficult for me. And that's the only reason I say that. I am really. I would love to say yes, but you can't when you have 12 people saying no in a small area like that. I mean, you know, that's the answer, in my opinion.
It goes both ways, small people, small area. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the roll call, the vote or poll, whatever you want to call it.
Ron Rice?
Aye.
John McKinley?
Aye.
Tim Bowers?
Aye.
Danny Bryant?
Hey.
Matias Rosales?
Nay.
Gary Black?
Aye.
Wayne Idy?
Aye.
Paul White?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, motion carries 6-2.
Thank you, Ms. Castro. Okay, do I have a motion for this case number 2014?
Okay, on case number 2014, I make a recommendation to deny the application.
We have a motion by Mr. Rice. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think I feel like I need to say something else on the on the other side of this, maybe bring this back or take it to the chairman, the supervisors, maybe a neighborhood meeting with these people and resolve some of the issues. This may be a way for it to go. We're just making a recommendation. So, I feel comfortable that there's some more work that needs to be done on this. And I think possibly, Calvin, that's my thought, is you go back and do a neighborhood meeting and see what you come up with, because I think that's guiding our denial today.
Thanks, Lexa. Was that a second to Mr. Rice's motion, or was it just a comment?
It's a second, yes.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Ms. Castro, can you go ahead and just do a poll for the vote to avoid double work?
Ron Rice.
All in favor, say aye.
Sorry.
In favor, go ahead, Amber.
Okay, Ron Rice.
Aye.
John McKinley.
Aye.
Tim Bowers.
Aye.
Danny Bryant.
Nay.
Matias Rosales.
Nay.
Gary Black.
Yes.
Wayne Ivey.
Aye.
Paul White.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-2.
Thank you. Item number, Ms. Knowles, thank you. Any questions staff will be able to answer, or your representative? Item number 6, text amendment number 20-01, staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a this involves 2 text amendments, and they're related to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and do the presentation. Juan Leal Rubio, Senior Planner with the Planning and Zoning Division. The first one is text amendment number 2001, and this is a request. A request to amend a text amendment to the Yuma County 2020 Comprehensive Plan to change the land use conformity matrix table and the zoning comparison table. And the intent is to update both tables to include the proposed suburban homestead zoning district. As you can recall, we've been here before. And this is the actual text amendment that was already advertised, and this is a public hearing. So this is the land use conformity matrix. What we did here, we added the suburban homestead 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, and 2 to the land use conformity matrix that will show which land use designations support the new zoning districts. And this is the zoning comparison table. Again, here we're adding the different suburban homestead new zoning designations. And of course, there are no acres right now, but hopefully eventually we'll add acreage to the zoning maps. And staff on this one is recommending approval of text amendment 2001. I will continue with text amendment number 2002. So this is the actual zoning ordinance, and the request is to amend the Yuma County zoning ordinance to add section 624 to delete the term guest room from section 202, and that's just a cleanup, and add as the actually, there's a typo. It should be add the suburban homestead zoning district to sections 501, 505.01, 1106.00, and 1106.01. And this is to create the new zoning district which would essentially prohibit the construction of accessory dwelling units on properties located within the noise zones. And this is per recommendation by the commission and the board. And I'm just going to go over very briefly how the proposed text amendment will look. So this here, the first one is the removal of guest rooms. Again, this is a cleanup, and the addition of suburban homestead to residential districts in section 202. And this is here is the districts established in 501. And here it shows the different zoning districts. We're adding suburban homestead. This is only a little portion of the big, large table. So it's an excerpt of the larger table. Here we're adding suburban homestead to section 501.01. And then the actual section 6204 is the entire suburban homestead spelled out in the zoning ordinance. And it just talks about, this is actually a mimic of the suburban site build and suburban ranch zoning districts. The only difference here again is the elimination of the accessory dwelling units from the special use permits. So with this proposal, the applicants or the customer will not have the option of applying for accessory dwelling units for properties that are zoned suburban homestead. So this goes on to talk about the minimum development standards for suburban homestead. Again, it's a copy of the suburban site build and suburban ranch as far as setbacks and height and accessory buildings. And staff is recommending approval of text amendment 2002. And that concludes staff's presentation. If you have any questions, I'm ready to entertain.
Okay, thank you. So we for 2001 at the beginning, 2002, or did we skip? Or did my off?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I went ahead and did presentations for both.
All right, I'm like, okay, so making sure we didn't skip something. All right, cool. All right, any questions or from the commissioners or anything? No questions, okay. Comments at this time, I'll open it up to the public. Do I open this up to the public for questions? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Open this up to the public. If anyone on the phone, video, or in person wants to comment or ask any questions, this is the time. Going once, going twice. Wherever, hold your peace. Sold. All right. At this time, I bring it back to the commissioners for possible action. And do we need these separately or individually or together?
Yes, separately.
Okay. Do I have a motion on item number 6, tax amendment number 20-01?
Mr. Chairman, John McKinley.
Yes, sir.
Motion that we accept the rezoning text amendment 20-01.
Thank you, Mr. McKinley. Got a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Mr.
Mr.
Bauer,
Chairman, it should be to approve or deny.
I believe you said, did you said approve, right, Mr. McKinley? Yeah. Approve. We got a motion. We got a second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against?
I'm against.
Who was that?
White.
Mr. White. Okay. All right. We got ayes and 1 against for the record.
Yes, motion carries.
All right. Do I have a motion for text amendment number 20-02? Any questions or concerns before we do a motion? Hearing none. Do I have a motion? Mr. White, you were unmuted and you muted yourself.
I'll just comment. The reason I'm voting nay is that generally I'm opposed to opposing accessory dwelling units. I don't have a problem with them on large acre lots. That's my only comment.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion on this item?
Mr. Chairman, John McKinley, I have a motion to approve the text amendment 20-02.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Got a motion, got a second. All in favor? Say
Aye. Aye.
Any against?
Against.
Mr. White, nay. All right, thank you. Motion carries. Item number 8, discussion by the commission members and planning of any current events scheduled for future planning commission meetings. Do we have anything besides Zoom in the near future? Anyone? We're all doing good health-wise? Everyone staying safe? Wearing your mask?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. What was that?
Yes, this is Mr. Bonnie. Yeah, gosh, I called myself Mr. That was good.
Yeah, there you go.
You're getting good, Dan.
I've developed a new respect for me. I was trying to find out who's calling the shots when it comes to meeting in person as opposed to doing the Zoom thing. You know, our COVID-19 positive test for the county has dropped substantially. We have people like the folks tonight who deserve to be able to look at and make their case, I believe, in person. And I'm just trying to find out, is it the chairman's call whether we meet in person? Whose call is it?
Great, Governor of Arizona.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Maggie?
Yes, until social distancing requirements are changed, it's very difficult to accommodate in-person meetings because there has to be a separation. Those mandates are still in place. Until those mandates are lifted or changed, meetings cannot take place in person. It's very difficult to accommodate a group of people in the auditorium. You can't do a Zoom meeting and an in-person meeting at the same time. The technology does not allow it.
Not only that, we're already tight as it is in that auditorium, commissioner-wise, we're touching elbow to elbow. Me personally, not until this is ratified or corrected, find the way the days are at, so. I mean,
Mr. Chairman, is Maggie, is the Board of Supervisors meeting in person?
Mr. Chairman, yes, the board does meet in person. They have made changes to the layout of their auditorium to accommodate the distancing requirements that were put in place. And also the health director is the one that has, is the person that's may set the mandates or put the requirements in place for Yuma County.
In my understanding there with the Board of Supervisors, that's also optional if they want to be there in person, or they do the option for Zoom as well.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, the board is not doing Zoom meetings.
None more? Oh, okay. I didn't
No,
know.
their meetings are being conducted in person. Like I said, they have changed the layout so that they can accommodate the distancing requirements if all 5 supervisors are at the meeting.
They're all about 6 feet apart. Okay, cool.
Mr. Chairman, is it possible to ask that county health director to take a look at the facilities that we use and see if it's possible to change the layout by moving some chairs so that in-person meetings could be possible?
Mr. Chairman, staff has already done an analysis of what changes would need to be made to the auditorium to accommodate P&Z commissioners and staff and the general public at the hearings. And it would be very difficult to accommodate, make those accommodations.
When you say difficult, you mean budget-wise?
No, just to follow the distancing requirements. Like I said, you can't have both a Zoom meeting and an in-person meeting. It has to be one or the other. So the most we could accommodate as far as commissioners in the auditorium will probably be 4. With 3 sitting at the dais and then 1 sitting somewhere at the under the dais or in front of the dais. Staff would have to be limited. The general public would have to be limited. I can have the DDS director reach out to you, Mr. Chairman, and show you the restrictions or the constraints that staff has at this point.
I mean, you're welcome to send that to Mr. Bryan. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, meeting-wise or future events or anything? Nope. All right. See you none. Thank you, gentlemen. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Nay. All right.
Have a good evening.
White said,
Yeah.
Stay safe, everyone.